Thank you for that heads up on the no audio. All right. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that help. Hopefully you can all hear me now. So back to it. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. This is a very small group, and I wanted to honor the military. I have a lot of appreciation and huge respect for all of you that I had another friend who is a veteran, actually active duty right now, and she said it's not a sacrifice, it's an honor to serve. And so I won't call it a sacrifice, but you are doing a great service to me and my family and all those that make this country fantastic. So I heard a statistic today that 1% of the U.S. population serve in the military. And that's a small number, and I knew this would be a small lotto. I did have, and I don't know if many of you saw this, but I was able to bring the prices down a little bit, and then I had a donor that donated some money to bring those prices down a little bit more. So these will be the most cost-effective of my knives that will be out there for a little while, and I'm glad that was able to happen. I did actually also, I did a poll last week to find out who was following me, and 4 of the 6 branches replied. Well, we had 5 branches enter into this lotto. We did have 1 Coast Guard member that entered, so I will be making a Coast Guard knife next week, and we'll post some pictures of that. So let's get to those knives. Let me show you what we've got. Let's start out here with the Army. I decided to go with the Tengu, and hopefully this will come through. But this is like the Army's kind of official logo, I guess you'd say. Hard to see in this light, but it's a white star with a yellow outline, and then all of the back spacers have the red, white, and blue to signify that this is U.S. Army. So we've got a hand rubbed. This one is an AEBL blade, so a nice tough steel. Should do a great job. There is the Army knife. Next up, let's go Air Force. This one was kind of a no-brainer. Air Force knife had to be an F-22. So we went with the flip joint, so it's a little bit more quick deploy. Did something a little different on this one, though, that you may notice. This one has a full swedge going the full distance of the knife up front there. This one is a hand-rubbed S35VN blade. And then I actually, so in my programs, I call this the Air Force Shield. Kind of a take on the old school Air Force logo design. And I'm turning that off so we don't have interruptions. So we put in the red with the white star to kind of make it dry out. In person, it's kind of hard to tell on here, but in person, this blue is a little bit more true to what the Air Force uses rather than navy blue of the Navy. Next up, speaking of the Navy, this is the Navy knife. Now, I will say, in full disclosure, my daughter, whose name is Navy, and she's 6, she saw this on the desk because she's been learning about veterans over the last few days and about what today means. Again, red, white, and blue. She wanted this knife for herself, and she thinks that it's pretty cool that her name is the same as what she says is the Navy Army. That's her kind of description of the military, right? So she really liked this one. So hopefully you Navy guys will enjoy that anchor. Took it from the USN logo. Last up is the Marines. Now I couldn't do the Marine logo, which was a little bit brutal to try and conceive. Maybe next year when I do this, I do have a laser that I just got, and I'll be able to laser some things, and I'll be able to laser that complex Marine emblem. But for now, I had to pull out the colors. So we've got the black, the red, kind of pulled out the dress uniform colors with the gold. Tried to match that fairly well. Of course, we got a clip, got the gold screws. This one has a CTS XHP blade, hand rubbed, of course. So there is that guy. Kind of get those little hints of the red in there, which I think still screams Marines. So anyway, there's the ones. I will be doing, like I said, a Coast Guard knife, which I will do in red and white, of course, which makes sense. And I'll debut that next week. I'll show you what I do with that one. So anyway, let's get to this drawing. This will be very small and it's going to be different from normal. So here's what I did. I organized. That's why it took me a little bit to get on here. I organized within each branch. So the way I'm going to do this random number generator is I'm going to put in Air Force first, and I'm going to go from 2 to 14. And according to my understanding, that should work. And I actually learned this trick from someone. I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but in future lottos, I will, instead of going from 1 to 300, I'll go from 2 to 300, which would have made a lot of sense if I used my brain. So here we go. Let's pull our winner for Air Force first. And that would be number 12, which is Major Jason Bond. So, Jason, I am going to, so on your screen you cannot see this, but I can. I'm going to put him down as number 1. I'll shift that over for you when we get to it. Oh, this thing, I'm telling you. It is not being my friend right here. Shift over 1. Oh, there we go. Okay, we'll try and make this work. All right, next up we have Army. So we will go from 15 to 26. Now it was very interesting because on Google Docs, this gives me a little pie graph and tells me how it's divided up. It was pretty evenly divided in the number of entries per, other than the Coast Guard. We only had one, so he's got an automatic. To 26. So let's see if this works out right. We're going to find out if what I've been told is true. 20, it does work, which is Sergeant Michael Wagner. You have my number 1 there. Oh my goodness, this thing is killing me. Okay, so like I said, Coast Guard, Matthew Amos, you win by default. So I will be reaching out to you and we will coordinate that build for next week. Next up, Marines. And I think Marines may have been my biggest number, which would be 28 to 40. And let's generate this bad boy. 36. There we have. Now I am not as good, but I'm going to say that's Master Gunny Sergeant. I could be wrong, guys, and I apologize. I don't mean any disrespect by that. Garrett Mitchell, you have the Marine knife. And last up, maybe someone can correct me on what that signifies, because, like I said, sometimes I'm a moron. Master Gunnery Sergeant. I was close. I knew that you could just call him Gunny, right? There we go. Got a couple of guys telling me. Okay. All right. Master Gunnery Sergeant. We got you. All right. Last up, Navy, which, as I told you, is my daughter's favorite one. So we've got 41 to 50. And let's see where we're at. 42. So we have Nico Hilario. You are the winner for the Navy knife. So let's put these guys in the order that they should be in now. There we go. Okay. So we've got, oh, and it took away. program is not being my friend. Okay, so Air Force knife goes to Major Jason Bond. Army knife goes to Sergeant Michael Wagner. Marine Corps knife goes to Master Gunnery Sergeant, got it right guys, Garrett Mitchell. And the Navy knife goes to E5 Nico Hilario. So guys, congrats. I'll be reaching out to you. As I said, the price that is marked on all the info that we have, we're going to subtract $250 off of that. So it's going to bring it down a lot. And a huge congrats. The person that donated wanted to stay anonymous, so I'm going to respect that. But just know you guys have a lot of support out there. A lot of people that appreciate what you have done and what you are doing, and I am one of them. And I teach my kids. I have boys that really want to go in the military, and I'm encouraging them that way. And I will tell you that my daughter Navy, she wants to grow up and be, in her words, quote, a police. So my kids know the importance of what you all do, and we respect that, and we appreciate it. I think I may have frozen up here. So we've got a little something on there. Army knife gets $100 off. Zulu Tango 9, reach out to me. I appreciate that. Hopefully everything that needed to come through came through. And take care. Have a happy rest of your day, and we'll see you next week.